Hey guys, it's hashtag AskLauren. So I have many pages of questions that I have compiled over the last while. Today we're gonna do a compilation speed roundup type thing of a bunch of questions. So here we go. I guess a lot of them will be vegan related. Jennifer Garcia said, do you ever mindlessly judge people who eat dairy and meat products? Well, yes, in my head, but like, I try to stop myself, and I really never say it out loud ever. I would never say rude judgments to people out loud. So, yes, but no. Hanzi said, what was the last non-vegan thing that you ate? I remember the foods that I ate right before I went vegan 6 years ago because they were delicious. And at the time, I was not vegan. I went on a trip to Florida with my aunt, and we ate all the food, and there was like we were in Sarasota, and there was like an Amish community, and there was this Amish restaurant, and apparently they were famous for their fried chicken. So I had that a couple of times, and it was really good. Like, I wouldn't want to eat it now. I would want to eat the vegan version, but at the time. And it's such a vivid memory. I had a Cuban sandwich. I had mahi or whatever, I don't know what that fish is called. Like fried fish, fried like oyster po' boy sandwiches, like all this seafood. So all those things is what I ate. And then when I came back from that trip, I was like, oh, I felt disgusting. And then I had already been considering going vegetarian and vegan, but I just kind of like gave it one last hurrah there. And then when I came back January 1st, 2010, I went vegan. That's the last non-vegan thing that I intentionally ate. I mean, so you accidentally eat non-vegan things sometimes when you're vegan, and I don't recall what the last would have been. Okay, I've been asked this a couple of times. Anyway, from Gracefully Alba here. She said, I don't want to complicate things, but in one of my videos, I discussed my love for animals and for other living things. What are your thoughts on the fact that plants are also living things? They live, reproduce, and die, and also get ripped out of their roots for us to eat. I want to know your thoughts. Okay, well, there'd be nothing left to eat. So my answer is, my thoughts on that are, I mean, there's this book that someone showed me called The Secret Lives of Plants or something like that. It talks about how they might be sentient beings. I need to Google this. The Secret Lives of Plants. I mean, my quick answer is that, well, I don't care because I'm gonna eat plants because that's all there is left to eat. If I didn't eat plants, I guess I could live off the sun. There is a documentary that I have come across that I haven't watched the whole thing about a guy who doesn't eat, and he gets all the energy and sustenance he needs from the sun's energy. So that's something. The Secret Life of Plants by Peter Tompkins. Controversial experiments that reveal unusual phenomena regarding plants, such as plant sentience, discovered through experimentation. That's interesting, but I'm probably never gonna read that, to be honest. Okay, sorry, I don't know if you were expecting a more meaningful answer, but the long and short of it is I eat plants, and I'm not gonna feel bad about that on top of everything else that I am supposed to feel bad about. I encourage you to go back and watch the playlist of hashtag AskLauren because I answer a lot of these questions that get asked multiple times. So you'll usually find your answer there. Oh, if you hadn't gotten into cooking and TV, what other profession do you think you would have fallen into? Well, when I was a kid, I remember wanting to be a veterinarian because I thought that was like the only thing you could do with animals. And then I remember like very vividly and actively wanting to become a lawyer. Once I was like maybe 8 to 10, and I knew like I had to think about what I wanted to be when I grew up. I don't know why I had this idea that I should be a lawyer. I think it's because I liked arguing and being mad. And I thought, well, if I'm a lawyer, I can channel all of my anger into cases and defend people or whatever. I could do a lot of yelling, which I like doing. Well, I say I like doing it, but I don't really know if I do. I just happen to do it all the time. So part of me thinks I would have made a really good lawyer, even still, but I never wanted to go to school for a long time. I just wanted to like be done with school and like be out in the world working. I mean, those was what I wanted to do. What I would have ended up doing, like if I didn't get into television, I probably would have worked peripherally in the music industry, but I never had a full music industry job. Like I could have stayed in the sales job that I had before I got into television, even though it was a nightmare. But I was good at sales, so I'd probably be doing something like sales, marketing, creative advertising, something like that, where I get to talk with people, talk with clients. I think I would still be good at that. Did you go to college? What did you study? Okay, that's from Jacob Chavez. I did go to college. I went to Durham College in Oshawa, Ontario for music industry business. It was a 2-year program. It's now a 3-year program. Focused in on all the aspects of the music industry, from marketing, publicity, accounting, touring, tour management, law, like entertainment law. But it just touches on all of those things very lightly, and then you kind of have to pick what you're most interested in and try to specify into that on your own. It was okay. I had a lot of fun. It didn't necessarily help me get a job. I don't think, like it really didn't. I got my job in television because of who I am, not because of any educational background. And so, a lot of people I've met over the years who I met through Much Music, like fans or whatever, people that would come to the show. A few people went and took the program who really want to work in the music industry. If you want to work in the music industry, it is like a straight ahead specific course for that, and I suggest going. It's a lot more involved now, which is nice. But yeah, the teachers were good. I had so much fun in college. It was like easy for me. I had an easy, fun time in it. It's like a breeze course, if you know what I mean. It's not like it's complicated or anything. But if you want to work in the music biz, it's kind of the step I would take, because there aren't programs like that at any other colleges. Allie Rose, any tips for job interviews, in particular figuring out the 3 why you should hire me points? Well, I hate job interviews. I get really nervous because they're bullshit, and you basically just have to say stuff that the other person wants to hear. I mean, you want to be like, be yourself. But sometimes, like, being yourself, which I've done, doesn't work, because the person who's interviewing you has already come up with the type of person they're looking for. And if you're yourself and that's not what they've already like predetermined in their mind, then it doesn't work. That's happened to me before. So I don't know, like I've luckily not had to do that many job interviews in my life. Once I kind of got into television, I never really had to do interviews other than the music interviews, but I never had to interview for a lot of the jobs I got. I was just given the jobs. I was like, my work spoke for itself, and I was promoted or given a job or whatever, the next step. But if you've seen my 2 vlogs about going to auditions, brutal, hate doing that. I guess that would be likened to a job interview for me for some things that I do, and I hate them. I don't know why you should hire me. I mean, you need to say things like, I'm a hard worker, I'm dedicated, I'm a team player, I'm creative, I know how to get the job done, I'm great at multitasking. Like, what else are you supposed to say that like convinces that person to hire you? You know, it's all those good things that you're supposed to be. Even if you're not those things, just lie and say that you are. Eventually you'll get the job and you'll be good at some of those things you said you were good at, and you won't be good at other things, but the things you are good at is what, you know, you'll be doing in your job. I don't know. They really are bullshit. This is not very good advice, especially for all of you who are like leaving college being like, I have to go on job interviews. But like, you do need to be yourself, and you do need to like go to a lot of job interviews before you get a job. Like statistically, very few people will just get given a job. But it does come down to like networking and being a friendly, nice person that people want to be around. That's how you get jobs. Like every job I've gotten is because people liked me, not because I've like aced some interview or said the right thing. So it's a balance of both. I think you're gonna go to a lot of BS interviews for sure, where you'll probably say stupid things that you're just like, why did I even say that? Just get out there and do as many as you can, you'll get better at it, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't like job interviews. Sarah Peary said, what do you do in terms of food and cuddles for Snickles when you and John go away? I have 2 fur babies and struggle finding a sitter for long weekends. Well, we're lucky in that our parents are alive. So Snickles goes to Grandma and Grandpa's house, John's mom's house, or my parents' house. Whenever we go away together next time, it's my parents' turn. They swap because they get jealous. So my parents don't have a cat anymore, so they like having Snickles around. Natalie has looked after Snickle once or twice in a pinch, but we try to just go with the parents because that's easier. I don't really like putting the responsibility on my friends, especially since none of them really have pets or really care that much, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to do like a kennel or anything like that. It's good to just have somebody that you know come and take care of the cat. And like rather than, I mean, I move Snickles around a lot. Doesn't seem to bother him that much. He went on a plane from Vancouver to Toronto when I moved, so he's, you know, well traveled. We do take him to our parents' house, so we move him around, but I guess if possible, get somebody to come to your house or house sit while you go away so you don't have to move the cat. Okay, here's one. Wendy Zoo. Curious as to what your stance is on buying products that are vegan from brands that support cruel practices. Example, faux leather bags from a company that would make leather, fries from McDonald's, or cruelty-free makeup that's owned by the parent company, L'Oreal, or whatever. Okay, so my stance on that is that I don't care too much. Like, when given the best, most ideal situation and option, like I'll go with the best option, which is a company that I support and like, that's a all plant-based company, if it's a food company. However, or like I've probably purchased faux leather stuff from a company that makes leather stuff like Aldo or whatever. It's hard to say. I think in the end, the big picture is that if a company who is offering a plant-based option in their product line or a cruelty-free option in their product line, if you buy it, then you are voting for that and you're voting for more of that by not buying the other stuff. And you're seeing it with a lot of food companies right now, especially like a mayonnaise company that has finally decided to offer a plant-based option, even though they caused a stink with the original plant-based mayonnaise company that has integrated itself into the mainstream. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look it up. In some cases, you know, it's like, well, what? Am I gonna buy the product if I'm like traveling and there's no other option? Yes. Have I eaten McDonald's French fries? Yes. I mainly go to McDonald's to go to the bathroom. I don't go there to buy their food. I go there to shit in their bathroom. So whatever. I mean, it's like pick and choose. I'm not like hard up on this issue. Like, there's this interesting debate going on, and the reason it was brought up to me is because I was asked by a company, the mayonnaise company that I was just talking about. I was offered money to promote their new product, and I didn't feel comfortable taking the money from the parent company, even though I think it's a good thing that they're offering the plant-based mayonnaise. I didn't think it would be good for our branding. I didn't think it would be good for us as a brand in the community to take that offer, even though I think it's great that that product is available to people who don't have any other option, which is the case, especially in Canada, because the other brand that vegans tend to support isn't available in Canada yet. I didn't support them because I was worried about the flack I would get, even though, you know, a lot of me was like, well, we want to let people know about new products because a lot of people don't know anything about plant-based products and ingredients, and we want to inform people of that. And they should know about this new product, and they should know that they can get it now on the shelf if they can't find Veganese and Just Mayo and all of these other ones. But I opted not to do it. So that was a really long answer, but my stance is flexible. It's a case-by-case thing. You know, the other funny thing about, whatever, now I'm getting into like political crap, which, you know, is not a very good thing. But the company that owns, I'm being so vague because I don't want to mention these names, but the company that owns this new plant-based mayonnaise product within their line of regular mayonnaises also happens to own the Ben & Jerry's vegan ice cream line. And everyone's all excited about the vegan Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but everyone's not so excited about the other brand's mayonnaise. So again, it's like personal preference. People are like, sweet, I can get vegan ice cream. Even though at the end of the day, I know what vegan ice cream I like the most, having never even tried the Ben & Jerry's one. Would I take money from Ben & Jerry's? Probably, even though the parent company is the same parent company I wouldn't take the money from for the other thing. I'm just saying hypotheticals. And then there are vegans who say, oh, you shouldn't, you know, Ben & Jerry's vegan ice cream is not vegan because of the parent company and they own all these other cruel companies and all this stuff. I don't know. At the end of the day, the more vegan options available, the better, whether they're from McDonald's or Coke or whomever. But you get to make a decision with your credit card every time about who gets the money. So do you want to support XX company that started, you know, from the ground up and their small operation and you know everything about them? I mean, business is business. Every business is fucked up in some way too. Even the small companies or the grassroots companies that we think are amazing. I'm sure there's all kinds of BS going on. Whatever. I mean, again, I really don't want to get into like this big complicated conversation about this, but that's generally what I think. Okay, good time to end this Ask Lauren. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed all of those questions / answers. We'll be back on Monday for more Lauren in real life or something, more stuff. I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Follow along with me on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.